So how important is gunnery? How important is that base number to shoot in Battletech as a mech warrior? Now, depending on the rules, whether it's Total Warfare or the Combined Arms or the Starter Set, Game of Armored Combat, the average mech warrior starts and comes in at a select level. And then, depending on how you play it, through a campaign or a buy-in, you can increase the gunnery ability, you can increase the pilot skill, or likewise, you can spend some battle value to increase them. So given that Battletech is this numbers game, this matrix of you're trying to stack the numbers as high as possible when I'm shooting at you. Stay far away, keep moving, get some cover, force me to run or jump or move. And I'm trying to bring that down, right? I'm trying to walk or not move. I'm trying to get you out in the open, no cover. I'm trying to, based on the weapon system, get you at medium to short range. I'm trying to stay out of your weapons arc. It's this positioning back and forth. That's why initiative, on a side note, is very important. And I pushed up to the Battletech playlist here on my channel, initiative tactics, initiative syncs, and understanding initiative. You have to master initiative. Just whatever you're playing needs to happen. So we have this back and forth. If I can hit you easier, that's a huge advantage, because that means if I'm running and gunning and moving around, it's going to pull that down. But likewise, if I can just stand still and get a great shot on you, then that's just going to really, really hit you hard. So why not across the board take that? Well, now we get into two factors. It is adding more battle value. And depending on the size of the game, can I take stock mechs and get an entirely another mech on the table? Or two or three, depending on the weight class and the mission? Or do I up the battle value? It also depends a lot on the machine itself. The difference between a long-range gunboat, say like a longbow, or a close-in brawler like a Banshee. If I have my longbow, right, my first thought is, and this is just kind of coming from experience, if I have my longbow, I'm going to be hitting with long-range firepower, of course. I'm going to be firing indirect. I'm going to have a lot of modifiers kind of stacked against me, meaning I'm going to have long range, and I'm going to have the +1 for the indirect fire. Wouldn't I want to have a better skill to make it easier to hit? And you can bump it up +1, +2, +3. You can bump that up and pay that battle value. Well, I'm not going to be moving ideally with my longbow, and I'd like to catch you at medium range. So those modifiers there, I'm going to be a little bit lower on average. I think I'd rather have a lot more missiles coming down on the table. Now, something up close, like if I'm looking at a Banshee, where I'm looking to get as close as possible to smash you, or if I've got a Javelin, which has two short-range six-packs, left torso, right torso, where I'm going to try and get point blank. If it's something like a medium laser boat, like the Grasshopper, where I want to get close in there, or the Victor that wants to get close, since I'm going to be close and my range modifiers are going to be down, and if I'm that close, I'm probably going to walk or stand still, my modifiers are going to be so low as they are, I think that's where I would take the gunnery skill, to be able to boost it even more as a super, super fail-safe to make sure I hit what I hit. It is important, and there are times where you want to boost it, but from my own experience, outside of a campaign or some house rules, I generally just take the stock mech warrior, because I want to take all my battle value and pile that into mechs. And even in a smaller game, that battle value could be some infantry, could be some Karnovs, could be some warriors. All of those are additional initiative points. And on top of that, I can get some hovers and I can get some other stuff once we start really jacking up gunnery skill. And then you get into this point sync of, well, if I did it with this pilot, what about this pilot? What about this? And you just kind of go down the ranks. And next thing you know, you've got more skill and you are hitting more, but do you have enough critical mass? Do you have enough miniatures, tanks, vehicles, mechs, if you're playing straight up mechs on the table, and just the initiative game, the importance of that to do it? So turning it over to my fellow mech warriors, my fellow mech commanders, do you just go stock, or do you upgrade, and is that a regular part of your Battletech games?